Welcome to The Passion Pod with your host, Chris Johnson. Thanks for joining us. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the feature presentation.
Here we are at Blue Ox with, can you tell me who you are and who you're from?
Yeah, my name's Ethan Demarais. I play bass with Laney and the Bird Dogs.
You play the stand-up bass?
Yes.
Do you play the other kind of bass as well, just in the meantime when you're sitting in the car? When you're sitting in the van for however long?
If we had any extra room in the van, yeah, but...
Dude, that van is packed, and you guys came all the way from...
Bozeman, Montana.
How far of a drive is that? Do you have any idea?
It's about 17 hours.
Oh, God. But you must have done some stops on the way, right? Because you guys are on a whole big tour at the moment?
Yeah, we're on 5.5 weeks right now. We started out in Colorado for a week, played some shows down there, bounced over into California, into Nevada, back to Colorado, home for an hour, and then drove out to South Dakota, Wisconsin, over into Illinois, and back into Wisconsin.
Oh, cool. And now are you finally on your way home?
Yep. Last show, the 5.5 week run.
Is this one?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's why you're having a beer right now, then, to enjoy the whole party of what
Correct.
we have here.
Yes.
And the vibes are completely on point, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so why do you want to come back to Blue Ox next year?
It's my type of fest. This is, it's family, so it's not like it's a bunch of raging, but I guess you can also rage if you want to.
I think it's kind of separate. Like,
Yeah.
in the camping area, there's some that's, like, very much, this is going to go till 2 in the morning. I've left here at 1, and people are... I mean, the music still plays till past then.
Yeah.
Right?
We definitely weren't up until 4 a.m. for last night before we played 11 o'clock today.
Okay, so when you guys have a band, there's so much more to just, like, performing, right? Each person kind of, and we talked a little bit about this off mic, but each person kind of has a different role within the band to make sure that it's successful, because it's not just creating the music, it's actually then lining up shows, right? And then it's making the merch, and then it's doing all the socials and whatever. So who in the band does what portion?
Laney is kind of the business type A person of the band. She pretty much gives directions and we follow, but Matt, the banjo player, does all of the artwork, hand drawn, kind of the design guru of the band, and then Brian takes that design and turns it into digital format so we can use on websites and printing out posters. He also plays wicked fiddle. Josh is the business person who kind of makes sure that we have enough money to make it to the next show, and I do all the screen printing and merchandise ordering and getting all that stuff.
Rad. Well, it seems like a pretty good synergy between everybody. When you're planning a 5-week tour, about how many shows, if you remember offhand, how many shows were on the tour, and how long, how much planning goes into that?
We played, I know we did 10 shows in 12 days in Colorado and California, then had a couple days off, and then did another 11 shows in 13 days or something like that. My math is probably off, but our booking agent, John Everhart with New Frontier, has put a lot of effort into it. But actually, this tour was booked by Matt, our banjo player, and Laney, our lead singer, because we had a little falling out with a previous booking agent, and just kind of
had to figure it out.
Yeah, had to race to get this stuff put together.
So I was just talking with you off mic again before too about crowdfunding stuff. It's hard these days because people don't want to buy albums, right? They just want to listen to the music. Everyone just expects everything to be free, but it obviously isn't free. We have to try to create stuff and pay our bills and whatnot. How has crowdfunding been able to help, and would you suggest kind of going that route for other people when you're trying to create things like albums? Can you tell me about the experience with it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think crowdfunding is a major part. A lot of artists kind of frown at it, kind of scoff at it, but you're also kind of owned by your fans. You're
totally
not, with a record label that you kind of, they tell you how to do things and, jump, you say how high, but with your fans doing it, they want you to succeed.
Right.
It's also very genuine that, it's awesome to have that support. And
I know I've found just with myself too, even just periodically Instagramming when I'm in LA or something, and I'm like, hey, I'm recording season blah blah blah. If anyone wants to buy me a 6-pack or contribute in some kind of way, people are pretty quick to it. I think a lot of fans of people, they're like, hey, how do I support you? And yeah, one way is buying merch, but at the same time, a lot of work goes into the merch, and the profit margin isn't you know what I mean? They're not if they donate 20 through buying a shirt or 40 or whatever they spend, that's not 100% money that goes into the project. A lot of these people, that's primarily what they want to do, right? Like the shirt's a cool thing or the hat or whatever, but like what they want to do is just support you. And I think a lot of people are sitting there ready to donate to things, whether it's like creating music that they appreciate or whether it's a cause that they appreciate or whatever, but no one ever asked them really. Nobody genuine asked them. So when somebody does, they're like, oh yeah, sure. Yeah. Like, no big deal. I do a skateboard fund in town, and I just ask people all the time, like, hey, do you want to donate money to buy skateboards for kids that can't afford them? And it's not surprising to me, but a lot of people that probably don't donate to anything else just because no one ever asked them are like, yeah, here's $100.
Yeah, I think people innately want to help out, but just don't know how. So if you give them the option of helping out, then they're more than willing. And also, I think also being a kind of a smaller upcoming act that people kind of want to be like the first ones
the little guy.
Yeah, it's kind of like I heard of them first. I was there at the first show and I bought their first T-shirt.
I discovered them before they blew up, so I know them personally.
I knew them before they were cool.
If people wanted to reach out and try to get a hold of you, what's the best way after they heard this?
At our website, thebirddogs.com.
There's a little contact us.
Yes. Or through Facebook or Instagram or email.
Messages will get to you
Messages
if you try.
will get to us, directly to us. We don't have somebody, there's no robo-answer, and there's
screening your phone calls.
Yeah, it comes straight to Bozeman, Montana.
Wonderful. Well, I'm going to send you messages just to spam you and sign you up on accounts so that way you can... No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, thanks so much for coming on the show. What's a song, maybe from that album that you were just talking about, that last one? What's a song that we can play right now?
Black Crow would probably be...
Black Crow's been the ticket. I interviewed the two other homies. They both wanted to play Black Crow. So let's pick another one. Good. We already aired it. That's why.
Oh, okay. How about Highline?
Awesome.
Cool.
I'm on the Highline. It's a slow ride. Chasing time to make it back to you. Patience seems to slow while the miles seem to grow. Find my way through the lonesome blue. I'm on the highline, it's a slow ride. When I'm chasing time to make it back to you. Straight as the cold flies over county lines. Find my way through the lonesome blue.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of The Passion Pod. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. We'll see you soon.